Hey, it's Fade. So I want to talk about how to deal with aggressive CTs or Ts. And when I say aggressive, I mean like disrespectfully aggressive, like so aggressive that they are actually making a mistake if they are against a good player. Now, the assumption for this video is that you are not a good player, or at least not relative to them, and that's why they're shitting on you. Okay? So the level of aggression that you're allowed to basically have in a game, it directly correlates to how much better your aim is than the other team's aim. And that's why when I play this game now, I'm just an aggressive douchebag because I can usually walk into a room and just one-tap people, right? Like, my accounts are low ranked, and it's not because I deranked them, it's because they decayed because I don't play much. I'll usually get like 15, 20 deaths a game, but I'll usually be like plus 15 or plus 20 because I'm just running around shooting. I don't give a shit if I die because I'm still having a huge impact, right? Like, if I actually played safe, I'd have, less than 10 deaths and probably 25, 30 kills a game, but it's not fun to do that. And that's why a lot of people that feel as if they are playing below their skill level are going to be disrespectful in MM as far as their gameplay is concerned. So the reason I make this video is because I just played a game where we lost pistol rounds, so I just bought a 5.7. There's a dude there. I just tapped his head off. Next round, he went lower, tried to peek me, tapped his head off. Next round, I had an M4. He came here, tried to peek me, tapped his head off, tapped his teammate's head off, kept going. Alright, 3 rounds in a row, I just walked into tunnels and they couldn't do anything about it. Literally nothing. And this is like my normal gameplay in CSGO now, like just running around and shooting people's heads off. So I realized if I was against good players, that doesn't mean that their aim would be better than mine. Because even for like when I was in like ESEA, I was doing this against pro players and I wasn't getting punished as hard as I should have been because my aim was actually like much higher than the average player at my like skill level, and I was never forced to, I guess, learn other aspects of the game to the same extent that they were because my aim was just good enough. Like, I didn't know nades for a super long time. Like, I played against pro players in ESEA without even knowing how to throw a nade, right? Because I just aim horde people. So, obviously, I did learn those things eventually, but having aim allows you to just make a lot of mistakes and not get punished for them. So I'm going to show you guys how to punish people that are playing with their aim and nothing else, right? And this is going to stop you from deranking. It'll stop you from having a rough time against someone who's smurfing on you, because let's face it, smurfs basically just play with their aim. So yeah. Depending on how much better their aim is than you, like, that determines how much of a pussy you have to be. Okay? So, if their aim is 10 times better than yours, be fucking 10 times more of a pussy. Okay? Like, literally be that dude. Like, let's say I'm gonna push tunnels and I'm like, alright, is there anyone out here? Boom, I'm dead. I just got op from somebody that's fucking standing all the way up here with his op out, waiting for me. Okay? This is like the scummiest piece of shit ever. Right? Like, this is one of the most advantageous angles for an opper in the entire game. But that doesn't mean don't use it. That means use it. Be a scumbag. Because this person that's pushing tunnels, if you aren't a scumbag, they're going to dumpster you. Okay? So, do you want to win the game, or do you want to keep dying to this dude and, like, make him feel good about himself because he's playing against people worse than him? Right? And like, I'm making myself sound like a dick this entire time because I'm like, hey, I just run around and shoot people. Yeah, but that's just how the game's ranking system works, right? Like, I literally don't have the time to get to global. It's like 50 games I don't want to play, but I still like to play the game. So you're going to run into people like me who are somewhat, like, they play the game sometimes, but they're washed up or whatever, and they just have their aim left. And, like, they're just gonna one-tap you all the time, right? Because they only care about playing, like, to shoot people. They're death matching, and this is how you deal with it. You play like a pussy. So you don't give them a fight where you can see, like, their whole body, and they can see your whole body. You give them a fight where you can see more of their body than they can see of yours. You use a weapon that is not a balanced weapon. And by that I mean, buy a Mag 7, right? Just, if they're pushing tunnels aggressively every fucking round, dude, make them suffer. If they're pushing as CTs every fucking round, straight up, buy a sawed-off and just fucking wait. This will tilt the shit out of them, I promise you. Okay? Buy an op. Chill T-spawn. Dude, if they give you some sort of message like you fucking pussy opping T-spawn, that means they're tilted. Okay? That means you did a good job. Now, I'm not saying to do this while your team is planting the bomb on A. I'm saying to do this at the beginning of the round when you need map control. You have, as a terrorist, it is your job to make sure that enemies do not cross here. Okay? It's not your job to stand here and make sure they don't run out of this area. It's your job to make sure that they do not cross this area. Okay? And I'm using Dust 2 as an example again, but I'm going to explain why so you can apply this to any map. That doorway right there and this right here cut them off from going T-spawn and lower. So this goes from site to tunnels. This is still only one pathway, right? Until they get to this point here or this point here, they haven't gained any extra map control because they can still only go back to B. They don't have the option of going lower yet. They don't have the option of going T-spawn yet. Okay? But once they cross these lines, now they have more map control. Okay? So you need to stop them from going both of those places, and the only way to stop them from doing that is by watching them as they cross these thresholds. And so you need to be able to watch somebody basically that goes across this line. If you can't see them cross this, then you're giving them lower, which means they can kill your team that's going cat, or you're giving them T-spawn, which means they can kill your team that's going long or mid or cat or opping, whatever. So the most passive that you can be is holding an angle that can see that while still, like, you know, so right here, you might not kill them, but at least you see it happen. And so if you see them push, then you push in, you wait. They're probably not going to repeat this, so you just like look over here, wait, see if there's a second guy. Nope. You follow them. Because what this means is you know they're not T-spawn, you still only have one angle to look at, okay? And then you look up, I wonder where this guy is. Don't walk around that corner, I'm just, you know. So it's okay to push that once you know that you're still only looking at one spot. The reason that you have to hold here is so that they can't come into two places, right? Because if you only hold here, that means they can go lower without you seeing it. This is the same as if you are here. Okay? Because now they can go T-spawn without you seeing it. But if you're here, they can't go either way without you at least seeing them and like giving your team information. So, important to know. Your team should see this on the minimap also, by the way. So yeah, playing like a pussy, you can do this, you can do this. As long as it still does this, as long as where you play serves the same function as standing right here as far as map control is concerned, that's fine. It's acceptable to do this. Not this, but like, you know, this. It's acceptable to do the first thing if you're sure you can kill the other player, right? But yeah, that's basically it as far as dealing with aggressive CTs. You just play as far back as you can. Like, if you're supposed to be protecting long A, dude, just literally just buy a fucking op or an AK and just chill here. This is one of the most infuriating angles in the game for an aggressive CT to deal with, okay? Because, like, if they come out here or top mid, like, they're boned. And if they come up suicide, that means their team isn't doing their job. So, like, honestly, they shouldn't be able to come up catwalk either. So, you're watching long A. You can just chill here. This is infuriating. Oh, so I'm quite tired. If you're watching mid, and there's like some dude that's just nuts and keeps peeking it with an op and like dumpstering you, then just hold this. Because your only job watching mid is to make sure that they can't go lower tons without you calling it out. It's the same like your teammates in lower. Their job isn't to fucking watch these doors. That's the mid player's job. Their job is to straight up just see if there's a guy pushing catwalk or not, okay? That's all they have to do. They don't have to do anything else. They don't even have to kill the guy pushing catwalk. Because if they say there's a guy pushing cat, then this guy is just going to be like, oh, okay. I guess I'm just gonna, you know, like chill here or something, right? And if I was gonna hold this, I'd probably hold it like here, because what this does is, if they come around this area through suicide, it actually lines up with this area around that corner from top mid. So they aren't going to be able to see your head under there. They won't see it till they're here. So they're going to be in the same spot no matter which angle they're peeking, which means that, like, if you have an op, and I'm not saying to buy an op, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter what gun you have, but if you put your crosshair like right here, they're dead if they peek from long. They're dead if they peek close, okay? And you can do that with an AK-2. And that's a free kill for you because your teammate's like, hey, dude, there's a guy rushing cat. What you don't do is when you hear, hey, dude, there's a guy rushing cat, okay, this is what you don't do. Okay, because what this smoke says is, yo, I don't want you to push this smoke. Okay, what all this movement says is I'm not even watching my own smoke. Because people can hear you. And on top of that, this guy's like wanting you to be in an open angle. He wants you to give him a fair fight. Don't fucking do it. Okay? Like, why would you do this? You can instead just be a complete fucking pussy. Right? Like, what is he gonna do about this? He's gonna walk around the fucking corner. Okay? So, even better, right? It's the same map control. Look at that! It's the same map control. Because you're not watching mid anymore, right? Your team lost mid control the moment this guy pushed catwalk. Okay? That literally invalidates your position holding mid. Because he can go around or he can go here. There's two different ways for him to attack you. You need to cut this down to one way. So that means you have to go up your long control. But the thing is, you lost control of this the second he pushed cat 2. Because this area, this doorway, the reason you're watching it is so he can't get to here or up here or any of that. But the cat player can do all that now. So there's no reason to watch this anymore. This guy pushed up catwalk. He could already be behind your team if they come out lower. They already know this. Just peace out. Right? Hold this angle. This is even more of a pussy-ass angle. But it does the same fucking thing. Okay? So, obviously, if this is how you play all the time, you're going to be at a disadvantage because you won't be able to take good map control, etc., etc. But if you're against a team that has one or two players and you know where they play and you know what they've been doing and they are being aggressive and disrespectful, then treat them this way and maybe treat the other team how you would normally treat players on the other team, right? But this will help you deal with one or two players that are just dumpstering you every time they see you. Now, there's another way to deal with this is a CT with aggressive Ts. And I mentioned this before, but it's like a 2-second peak. And there's a reason for that. So let's say you're a terrorist and you're going to push this. So it's at 6, 5, 4. So it takes 2 to 3 seconds to get to a spot where this could see you. Okay? Like this angle right here. Well, okay. I'm just gonna peek that. Nobody there. Peek it. Peek it. No, nobody there. Peek it. Nobody there. Nobody there. Okay. The reason you do it this way is because if they're there here and you peek this deep, you have to run all the way back to boxes. Okay. If you're looking like at that corner, you have to get all the way back here to be safe. And there's these things here, right? There's like you have to. It's just a pain in the ass. And if they lose the gunfight, they can just walk away because the corner's there. They can just go around the corner. But if they're here, if you're here and they're like here, excuse me, then they have to commit to that fight because they can't run away in time to survive. Okay. So if you see their shoulder, right, then whoop, they're done. They're dead. End of story. Congratulations. Notice I didn't even go for a headshot there. Like, obviously I would have if it was a real game, but I wanted to demonstrate. Every single one of my bullets, except maybe like a couple, hit where a guy's body is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 bullets. Okay? takes 5 to kill somebody. This is a dead player, right? And if they were here, spoiler alert, all of those bullets would have hit them. So that's 8 bullets. That's a dead player, all right? Without having to get a headshot. They're dead this quickly. That's it. That's all it takes. That's a play. That's a kill right there. If you're getting pushed by 5 people. Dead people. That's 5 dead people. Look at this, right? You don't have to do this whole... That's not how... You don't have to do that to kill somebody in this game. So, when you're getting pushed by someone that's just better at aiming than you, play back, right? And do this, the 2-second, 3-second peek rule. And the further they have to get, like the further they have to travel, the longer you can wait to peek, okay? So, like from here to, you know, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is like a 4-second peek, right? So you're like, oh, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Oh, I don't see anyone there, right? I don't see anyone. Oh, no, I don't see anyone there. Oh, okay, he's there. You know, same shit with like right here. How long does it take someone to get from this corner to that spot? That's what you have to know. So, with walking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. So, okay, that means you have to peek every 3 or 4 seconds, and you'll be fine. Because it's actually impossible for them to come around that corner and get to a position where they can kill you any faster than that. Okay? Like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like they can't do it from here. If you're crouched right here, there's no way they see you, right? So you peek this like just like that. And if you don't see someone, that's a good thing. If you do see someone, then be ready to kill them. Every peek that you make has to have the intention to kill. Okay? You have to actually just pretend that you're about to peek an enemy player and that you already know where he is. Right? You know there's an enemy on this corner. You peek up. Oh, he's not. Oh, he's dead. Okay? That's how you deal with it as a CT. This holding fucking long corner with an op, dude, let me tell you what happens when you do this and there's a player that's like way better than you on the other team. You get degged in the face every time. You fucking do this, there's a player better than you on the other team, you get degged in the face every time. Okay? This, not so much, because you can use, right? And so just keep that in mind. Whenever you're going to play a spot on CT side, know how long it takes them to get from where they can peek you to where they can see you. Like, and what I mean by that is like, that corner is where a T can peek onto A from. Okay, so it's where they can peek the spot that you're playing to where they can see you where you're hiding. So again, if you play here, so you're hiding here, and this is where they come out, it's... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 3.5 seconds. Okay? So that means you probably need to peek every 1.5 seconds. Okay? Or you can go a little bit deeper. Right? But this only takes it down to maybe like 4 seconds. Because if you hide here, they can actually see the side of your head by the time they're like right there. And notice I can't see that. Okay? So be aware of that, because you only have one eyeball in this game. Just pretend you're like a Cyclops, right? Like a Cyclops standing here, if their eye is right here, a normal person's head would be like that way and like that way still, right? So that's why this doesn't work. But if you're standing here, always also be aware that a dude standing right here can shoot the tippy top of your head. Okay? So that's the reason that I took like this kind of angle here, all right? Because it's a lot harder to do that from here. And if you're moving around, right? That's what you want to be doing. Works from here too, right? And from here, it's the same exact thing. It's that corner to that spot, that amount of time. So 1, 2, 3, 3.5 seconds again. And that's because they're walking, right? If they're running, you hear them and you peek just before they see you, or you pre-fire just as they're coming into sight. So those are things I don't even need to talk about because like it's really obvious. You just learn when the footsteps are close enough to pre-fire, and you know, if you know the time, then that's, you know, when to peek out. If they've been running for like 1.5 seconds already, then you just peek them and kill them. Okay, because running in this game puts you at a huge disadvantage in a gunfight. If you get caught running, you shouldn't win a gunfight. But yeah, that's about all I can say as far as just how to deal with players that are better at aiming than you and are definitely abusing that fact. You could use grenades and things like that, but I would prefer to say that for a later time because I feel like it's important to tell players how to deal with things the most simple way first, like the way that they like the way that anyone can do without having to, like, you know, grab a fucking pen and a piece of paper and memorize some shit. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and peace out.